everyone, it's Melissa. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while, and I kept forgetting to do a video on it. So I thought I would jump on here and do it today. It is Memorial Day and I'm doing my Sunday dinner today. So I'll make it quick. It is about vitamin E and people with problems with gluten. Now, vitamin E is an ingredient that is added to a lot of cosmetics. I think it's cheaply made. I think it's probably moisturizing. I think, it's got a lot of benefits to it. But here's the problem that I wanted to address. Vitamin E can be derived from wheat germ. And for some people with gluten issues, this could be a potential problem. Now, I've read a lot about this, and there is just so much information that is conflicting. Doctors themselves usually say, "Oh, you're putting it on your skin. So what? Big deal. It's not going to be absorbed into your bloodstream, so don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to make you sick." And other scientists have said, well, when you take the wheat germ and you process it so much, it's very little of the protein, so little of the grain left. You put it in a cosmetic, it's not a big deal. So use it in good health. Don't worry about it. But I have read so many people that are having problems with it. I see it more and more added to the vitamin C serums. Every brand, it seems like, has vitamin C, E, and ferulic acid. That seems to be a very, very popular combination. So let me tell you the ingredient name so that you know it's vitamin E. If you look in the list of ingredients, you will see the word tocopherol, Tocopherol. And I will list it down below so that you will recognize it. And it will be tocopherol acetate, DL tocopherol, D-tocopherol. It comes in different many forms, and I think it's the way it is considered natural or considered man-made or cold pressed or how it's derived. That is the ingredient that means it is vitamin E. So I started noticing it the most in the vitamin C serums. The vitamin C, E, and ferulic acid. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So I started out with Timeless. So I did the C, E, ferulic acid, and I got sick. And I couldn't figure out why I got sick. I had every single thing had stayed the same. So I went off of it, and I got better. So I went back on it again, and I got sick. So I did this a couple of times because I'm real big on using myself as an experiment. That's how I learn things, is to do experiments on myself. So I went back on it, and I started reading. I looked at the ingredients, and I started reading about tocopherols and what they were and what different names they went by. And was this something that was a potential for causing not harm but upset with a person that cannot tolerate gluten? And I did read about it, and I did read that it can be derived from wheat germ. I'm going to get a little closer. That it can be derived from wheat germ. And, I saw the pros and the cons and how some people felt like it wasn't a big deal, and some people, it really made them sick. So what I did was I wrote to Timeless, and I asked them, is this derived from wheat germ? And they said, I don't know. We don't know if it is or not. We outsource it. And that is the problem with so many companies. When you write to them, I've written to MAC, I've written to CoverGirl, I've written to Revel, I've written to so many companies, and they all say, I don't know, we outsource it. So what they have to do is they have to go to their company that they outsource it from and find out if it is derived from wheat germ or not. So Timeless did that. And so they got back to me and they said, yes, it is gluten. It is from wheat. So don't use it, which, they took the time, they took the trouble. I really, appreciated that a whole lot that they did that. So I knew that, I needed to steer clear of the Timeless. So I noticed that SkinCeuticals had CE ferulic acid. I wrote to them and they actually checked their sources too and said no, that theirs was not derived from wheat germ. I think it can be derived from soy and soybean and something else. But theirs was not. So great, I'll use that. But theirs was 15%, but they also made one that was 20% AOX plus, I think. And so that was 20%, and that had no tocopherols in it, or no vitamin E. So I felt comfortable using that. But, it was expensive. That was the only bad thing about it. So, I searched around for cheaper alternatives, but so many of them, when you look at the ingredient list, they have that vitamin E in it, or the tocopherol in it. And I had been, looking at this for a while and looking at it with lipsticks and with products that I put around my eyes and things like that. And I would use some of the lipsticks that had this ingredient in it and it wouldn't bother me. But it seemed to me that the one that bothered me the most would be the vitamin C serum. I don't know if it was because I would put it all over my face and my neck and my ears and all around my eyes, that some of those areas are thinner and so it would get into my bloodstream. But a lot of vitamin C serums that I would try that had that vitamin E in it would make me sick. And I would do the experimenting of going off of it and going it back on and not changing anything else, not changing my diet, eating the same things every day. So I knew that it would be caused from this. So I think that what I wanted to say was, if you have gone gluten-free and are either still sick, or if you have been gluten-free for a while and you suddenly get sick and you can't figure out why you're getting sick because your diet is the same, then maybe look at if you've changed anything in your cosmetics, especially something that you put on large areas and leave it on there. I know it has it in shampoos and sometimes it will bother me on shampoos, but you do rinse that out. But the vitamin C serum especially, you put it in such a large area, you put it all over your face, that in delicate areas that may be thinner. So I do think that there's the chance that you could absorb that a little bit more. This has been my experience in it. What I have had to do with lipsticks and with things I use around my eyes and with these serums is just kind of experiment. Someone asked me if I had a list. I don't. I do know that the Lancome Color Design lipsticks, I went down to the department store and looked at the different lipsticks and stuff and read the ingredients. The Lancome Color Design does not have the tocopherol or vitamin E in any form in their lipstick formulation, so that is a really safe one to use. I have several of those lipsticks and I have never had a bit of problem. There are some lipsticks that I have used that don't bother me at all, and some that have made me sick that I've had to quit using. So unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of trial and error for each of you to see if things that bother you. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about today was all the vitamin E in the vitamin C serums. That if you have started, because using vitamin C serums has become such a popular thing, and putting that E and ferulic acid in there is such a popular thing, that if you're suddenly getting sick and you don't wonder, you can't imagine why you are getting sick, and you have gluten issues, go off of that vitamin C serum and see if it matters or not. Now, what I have started to do is to make my own vitamin C serum, and I use two ingredients. I use the powder, vitamin C powder, and I use distilled water. I found a recipe. I'm going to copy the link below. I know several people have done it. I know Tammy up East Beads has made her own vitamin C serum. I know Elle is for Living. She makes her own vitamin C serum. So you can probably get some ideas from them. I'm going to link their videos. I'm going to look for their videos of them making it so that you can take a look at what they've done. But I will also post the recipe I use because it's just 2 ingredients and it's real simple to make. I make it once a week and keep it in that little refrigerator that I showed. And by the way, I am so embarrassed because I got the idea of the refrigerator from Carol from the old Carol show, and I had forgotten that's where I got it, and I had forgotten to mention her, and so I just felt so bad about that. But that is where I first got the idea. She's wonderful with gadgets, and she's always discovering the latest gadgets and tech and things like that. I always learn so much from her. And I had forgotten that I had seen that little bitty refrigerator on her channel, so I did want to mention that. But anyway, I make mine once a week. I make it like on a Saturday, make it for the whole week, put it in that little refrigerator. It stays fresh. Then the next week, I'll just make a new batch. It's just real cheap. And so far, you know, I haven't noticed any difference in my skin, that it's doing worse or anything like that. So I'm happy with it. And I know what ingredients it has in it too. So if you do have, if you have started on a vitamin C regimen and it does have the vitamin E in it or the tocopherols in it, and you're suddenly getting sick, you know, if you have issues with gluten and you're suddenly getting sick, then you might consider either making your own or looking for a company that makes it without the vitamin E in it. So thank you so much for watching. It just this has been on my mind a lot, and I thought I needed to mention it. I appreciate everyone watching, and I'll talk to everyone Wednesday. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye-bye.